are safe in this pandemic situation. Today begins our class. The golden words given for here our Bible. In everything give, I think yes, in everything gives thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. First Thessalonians 5:18 verse. Okay. Within this golden verse, today we start today class. Already completed interaction between various components. Today we are going to learn interaction between biotic and abiotic components. So it's an important lessons of an 8th ICSE. Please note it and more concentrated in all that PPT format and go through well, and any doubts you have, please phone and ask me. So already we saw here interaction between biotic and abiotic. We know for biotic means living organism, abiotic means non-living components. Most organisms take oxygen from the air and return carbon dioxide through the process of respiration. Okay, because we know for here oxygen is an important um, macronutrients, a kind of an gas requirements of in living things for respiration. Then decomposers release carbon dioxide when they break down dead organisms and excretas. Okay, but after dead and decay of a living organism, decomposers such as bacteria and fungi come for here saprophytic organism. Uh, Saprophytic organism depends upon dead matters and break down dead organism and excretas. An imbalance in the composition of air had it to be had it not been for a process of photosynthesis, and by using carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen, plants help to maintain the right composition of an air. Okay, so by using carbon dioxide in all the plants during photosynthesis, using carbon dioxide or inspire carbon dioxide and expire oxygen, plants help to maintain the right position of the air. Similarly, nitrogen which is taken away from the air and used by living world is returned to the air by some microns. I think I completed last week for this topic. I think plants take minerals from the soil and decomposes return them by breaking down dead plants and animal waste. Okay, the plants take mineral from the decomposing dead materials. Okay, because dead material going to destroy with the help of an saprophytic action and release out lot of minerals. We learn for micro and macronutrients, and comes out from dead plants and animal waste. Then plants and animals also release water vapor in the atmosphere when they respire. Then plants return water vapor to the atmosphere by transpiration, which is ultimately contribute to the formation of clouds and rainfall. Okay, so plants return water vapor. We know for water vapors will be comes out wherever is water loud, very high, very high intensity of a light. Okay, and plants also transfer out in the form of water vapor through a transpiration, which ultimately contribute to the formation of cloud and rainfall. Rainforests transpire a huge amount of water vapor, which forms a substantial amount of rainfall they receives. Then this rainfall then replenish soil water which plants use. Okay, so this is a constant give and take between the biotic and abiotic components of the environment. Okay, it's a give and take policy happening for here. They are going to give and take with the help of atmosphere, and I think you are studied for hydrological cycles. The next slide, interaction within the biotic components. Okay, so interaction is come for here food chain is presence of a producer and herbivores, carnivores, and primary carnivores and secondary carnivores. Okay, the come for here microorganism and decomposers. We know for here the picture is important. Food is the primary link between members of the living world. Okay, food is the primary material. Okay, in all the living creatures depends upon food for to survive and I can continue for living world. Then produces green plants. trap portions of the sun energy to produce food through the photosynthesis. Okay. In all the plants are called producer. Green plants are called producers because in basic one to production of an food. Okay, and with the help of some raw materials such as sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, and chlorophyll, the plants are preparing food during photosynthesis. Then the energy of the sun gets converted into chemical energy of food. Okay, so energy carries sun is converted into chemical energy, and plants use a part of this energy, and the rest in their body. Okay, the plants are first of all the beginning of photosynthesis. Plants require sunlight. Okay, then requirements of carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll. Plants are prepare food, producers, and produce lot of material in the form of an energy consumed with the help of an herbivores, dependent. Okay, and they are consumed one by one. Then herbivores eat plants and use up a part of the energy food stored in the plant. Plants store a lot of food components in the directly or indirectly. Okay, just store house. Okay, with the plants, otherwise plant products, and depends upon herbivores for consumption. Store some of the energy in their body, which is then used by carnivores. Okay, so herbivores will be gets enough sufficient amount of energy in the form of food, and depends upon carnivores such as primary and secondary carnivores, which feed on the herbivores. This way, energy pass from producers to primary consumer, then secondary consumer, and so on. A series of organisms linked with each other through a process of eating and being eaten from food chain. This is called food chain. Sometimes what is food chain? A series of organisms linked with each other through the process of eating and being eaten from the food chain. First of all, producer depends upon which one abiotic factors and get it for some material, and preparing food in the during photosynthesis, and depends upon herbivores. Okay, herbivores suppose get enough amount, depends upon primary consumer, then secondary consumer, then decomposers. Okay, so energy is moving from a unidirectional way. Okay, producer to herbivores to primary carnivores and the secondary carnivores. Okay, they come for a consumers, they come for a food chain, and each step of food chain is called trophic levels. Then thus producers from the first trophic level is called T1. Producer are called T1. Primary consumers from the second trophic level T2. Secondary consumers from the third trophic level is called T3, and so on. So T1, T2, T3 is important. Then the largest carnivores at the end of food chain, such as lion, tiger, crocodile, or python, is called the top carnivores or apex predators. Then only producers are capable of using their energy for the sun to make food. Okay, because the plants only have the capacity to just when attracting and getting sunlight and using for here photons in the form of an which one photons, or with the help of an sunlight to complete the photolysis process. It is this energy that is shared by other organisms down the food chain. Okay, so this energy is going to sharing from plants to herbivores to carnivores. Then this means that the sun is the source of energy for all food chain. And here is given for picture, or we know for the dependent organism. First of all, producers are called grasses. In all that herbivore animal depends upon grasses. Okay, they get certain amount of energy, and depends upon tiger. Okay, tiger is always to follow and again to vigilant to catch for herbivorous animal. Okay, they are dependent. This is called a food chain. Okay, and decomposers use the energy stored in the body to producers and consumer after their death. After death of producers and consumers, and activate with the help of and decomposers to get some amount of energy. They also break down fallen leaves and twigs and animal excreta. Okay, not only for here dead matters of plants and animal, it is also used to break down fallen leaves. We know for here those areas presence of huge trees to just leave lot of leaves, old leaves, okay, fallen leaves, and twigs and animal excreta will be decomposed with the help of decomposers. The decomposers like earthworms and microorganisms are eaten by other organisms and form part of food chain. Okay, so not only for here, these are the microorganisms, earthworms that comes under the decomposers. Energy does not always flow through one organism to other organism. Then a snake, for example, does not eat only for frog, okay, but they will eat other organism also. It may eat insects, small birds and small birds. Normally, the snake is going to consume directly frog. If not available, the number of a frog, they will catch insect and small birds and mammals also. Then and snake are eaten not only for eagle but hawk, peacock and owls as well as. Okay, thus one organism may be a part of many food chains. Okay, food chain, and this lead to food chain getting connected and forming network called food web. So first of all, food chain. Next will come for food web. What is food chain? Unidirectional flow of energy. Okay, but here which one irregular consumption of animal. Okay, because for example, a kind of an snake, if not get it for a frog, and they are going to catch to eat insects, small birds, even mammals also. Same time, that eagle and hawk and peacock and owls going to use for a snake. Okay, thus one organism may be a part of many food chain, and this misleading consumption of the food is called a food web. Sometimes ask what is food chain, what is food web. The pyramid of number. Next pyramids. Is given for here pyramid of number. See, the pyramid will be broader, and again every consumers will be narrow. Okay, here is minimum number of grasses and number of an primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and apex predators. See the number and flow of energy. Here is more energy, reduce little, at last go to for here less energy, because this pyramid of number, pyramid of mass, pyramid of energy will be different from every pyramid. So pyramid of number is a representation of the number of organisms at different trophic levels of a food chain. This is the food chain. The first level, minimum number of species. Then second level, reduce little, and at last level, very little number. So here, the pyramid of number is a representation of the number of organisms at different trophic levels of food chain. It shows producers at the base with the various consumers arranged successively upwards. Then the number of organisms generally decrease each level of the pyramid. Okay, the number of organisms from the base to at the top will be reduced because of an consumption one by one to getting some energy. The producers from the lowest level of the pyramid, producers is the case grasses for outnumber and consumer in the food chain. Okay, so producer in this case grasses for outnumber means or uncountable numbers. They are deposit as the broadest part of the pyramids. Okay, the grasses or producer comes under the first category and broadest part of pyramids. A fractions of the energy is lost at each topic level of a food chain. Okay, so little fraction of energy going to last state for every trophic level of food chain. Thus, in general, consumers at each level must eat a large amount of food to obtain enough energy. Okay, so now see the consumer and getting they are going to consume one by one, to catch one by one and get enough amount or sufficient amount of energy for food chain. Then this is why the number of organisms at each trophic level is more than the number of organisms at the next higher level. Okay, so this energy is supposed to consume sufficiently because the number going to reduce or they require for next higher level of organism. The primary consumers in this case grasshopper. Okay, so first producer, then primary consumer, and occupy the next narrower level of the pyramids and are lesser in number than the producer. Just compare with the producer and the herbivores. Okay, and the grasses and the grasshopper number is reduced because of consumption one by one. The number is reduced. Then a smaller number of secondary consumer frog can sustain life by eating the available number of primary consumers. Then a single apex predator, eagle, is left at the top of the pyramids, and hence the apex predators is deposited at the narrowest part of the pyramids. Okay, so see that pyramid of number of forms are going to reduce every trophic level. Okay, first at the base, second level, third level, fourth and fifth level. If you go to for the topmost level, the number is completely reduced because it gets enough amount of energy. Then interdependence between organisms. Different organisms in an ecosystem interact with each other in different ways. Okay, so uh, organisms are going to interact one by one. Okay, depends upon the consumption. Some organisms may depends on other to protection, camouflage or shelter. Okay, because some organisms depends one by one the purpose of protection and shelter, going to take and escaping enemies also. Organisms from specific relationship called ecological relationship with other organisms. Okay, so mostly organisms going to interdependent. The purpose of food, protection, shelter and escape enemies. Okay, organism from specific relationship called ecological relationship with other organisms. Some type of ecological relationship or predation, symbiosis. Okay, symbiosis is divided into parasitism, mutualism, commensalism, and competition. Okay, this comes from some type of ecological relationship. The purpose of food or protection or shelter or escape enemies. Predation is the in this relation typically between animal, one organism kill and eat another. Example for kingfisher, and they will search and to get it for here a large fish. Some predation process. Animals that hunt, kill, and eat other animal are called predators. Okay, animals that are going to hunting or kill and eat for other animals are called predation. Some examples of predators are called spider, snake, tiger, eagle, and the shark. Okay, it's a major. Then the animals that are killed and eaten by predators are called their prey. Okay, what is prey? The animals that are killed and eaten by predators are called their prey. Okay, so here is important for interdependence between one by one. The purpose of food, protection, and the shelter, escaping enemies. Give some examples. So this example comes for here interdependency between organisms. An animal can be predators to its prey, yet itself be a prey of an higher predators. A snake is a predator to a mouse, okay, but is in turn a prey to a hawk. Okay, come for predation. Symbiosis, when two different species live in close association with each other, the relation between them is called symbiosis. Okay, here do not harm, both are going to benefit symbiosis process. Okay, because both are close contact, close association with each other, the relations between them are called symbiosis. Symbiosis can be of three types. They are called parasitism, mutualism, and commensalism. Then parasitism affect one of the organism in the relationship negatively while the others organism benefit for the relation. So here during parasitism, one partner will be harmful, other will be benefited. Parasites are an organisms that benefit from other organism called host. Okay, so those organisms supposed to getting benefit are called host. Then parasites depends on their host for food or for the completion of their life cycle. Okay, parasites depends on other host. One suppose for food, otherwise to complete for life cycle. They may live on or within their host. Okay, lice, tick, mice, and again others parasites that live on the surface of the host body are called ectoparasite. So ectoparasite, endoparasite. So what is ectoparasite? Organism present externally. What are they? Lice, ticks, mice, and other parasites that live on the surface of the host body are called ectoparasites. So bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and other parasites that live inside the body of the host are called endoparasite. So ectoparasite, endoparasite. So this parasite presents internally of a living organism, and either mostly they are going to cause some diseases. Tapeworm is a parasite that lives in the human intestine and cause intestinal disorder. Okay, this kind of a worm, or you compare here macroorganism. What is macro? We can see in our eyes. Okay, so this parasite presents in human intestine and cause for here intestinal disorder, some defects of some diseases. Various types of bees invade the hives of other species to, or bees to lay their eggs and raise their larvae. Okay, without the knowledge of an honey bees and producing and beehives, and some other bees will be insect will come and enter inside the beehives and honey bees hives and lay some eggs to production of a larvae. A single queen bees of the invading species. So any insect suppose invade inside uh, uh, will be enter the hives of the host bees which mistaken it for their own queen. Then the queen bees of the invading species destroyed. Okay, they are not allowed. Without the knowledge of a queen bee supposed to hatch out, they may happen for incubation and hatchling. But with the knowledge of an queen bees, what happen? They are going to destroy the eggs and the larvae of the host bees before she lays her eggs. The workers bees of this host species then raise the young ones of the invading species. Some species of cuckoo birds, okay, invade the nest of other birds and lay their eggs in them. Okay, because we know for cuckoo bird do not produce any nest. They are not build any nest. Okay, normally the Indian crow build a nest, and without the knowledge of an crow, this cuckoo birds will be lay egg. Okay, and the crow will be thinks about for their own egg for here cuckoo eggs also. Okay, and this Indian crow incubated and hatched out to form a new chicks, even cuckoo chicks as well as crow chicks also. The chick that hatched out of an cuckoo eggs usually pushes the other egg or chicks out of the nest. Okay, so cuckoo chicks as well as crow chicks also comes out of the nest and again to go to for independent life. Okay, that's all today topic, and I hope all are understood today topic. More concentrated and study well and see the in all the PPT format to follow and copy down in your classwork also. And God bless you, and Almighty God always with you, and go through well, study well. Thank you.